Hi guys, gonna make a necklace here. So, got my little clasp using toggle clasp today. It's gonna be a double strand. I've already cut the length out. It's gonna have a little extra on it. Oops, over there. I'm using an assortment of black and gray beads. Some of them are see-through, some of them are matte, some have shiny little finishes. It's more of an experiment than anything, formal. And I have 3 lava rock beads. They're slightly different sizes, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And in here I have an assortment of C and E beads that I'm going to fill the spaces up, and I'm just going to make it. So, as you can see, I've got a good start on it. We've got 5 little E beads. We've got colored here. So that holds the double thread, and then it separates out into these big ones. They've got seed beads, little black seed beads, to give them a little more definition and space. And I'm just going to go with the pattern. Got the mixed up little bits here. I'm just going to bead them. See how it goes. So as you can see, we've got started the beading. So there's 10. And we have the next big bead. There's 5 right now to cap. 5, big bead, 10. So it's going to be slightly staggered, which is the way you're going to want it to go all the way along. So, see how these two are kind of right together? You don't want that. You want them staggered a little more, so it looks kind of, So I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to expand it. So as long as it's got the 5s, 5, 10, 15, to keep the pattern and the sizing looking right, but still random. Also, if you want to make the pattern a little longer, start with 5 or 10, and then work your way up to the 15, maybe even a 20 string, and it'll start looking where you want it to. Don't be afraid to re-pattern if you have to. This was a little too close to that one, so I knocked it off by 5 beads. Looks good. Remember that once you get your length right, you want to keep it even. So, even though the beads aren't quite the same, length is going to sit right about where you want it. So, as you can see, these two are the same size. These black ones are not. So to fill in extra space on this one, we added an extra 5 seed beads to get them to hang properly. Like so. Then we're just going to loop this around the toggle and tie it off. Bum bum. Pull it tight. Maybe one more loop around. Just to be secure. There we are. Dum dum dum. And then a good solid knot. And another knot. Knots aren't very pretty, but, well, you need them. Better to have ugly big knots than have your necklace fall apart. Right? Right. I'm just going to knot one knot between these two. And there we have it. Hi guys, making another necklace. When am I not? So, I've got these interesting sort of rocks. They're gray with these black streaks on them. I don't know what kind of rock it is. They're pretty. Oops. I've got some black spacer beads and these little gray ovals. I'm going to use toggle clasp and wax linen. Somebody asked me a little while ago, how do I make a knot that'll stick? So I'm going to show you. I've cut my piece of thread. It's a little longer. Always good to have extra. So take one end, give yourself a little space, wrap it through the hole. I give it about 3 times so it's secure, and then I make a knot. Pull that tight, and then I just make a couple little more knots. Extra knots will hold it in place, as well as giving a little bit of a buffer between the middle of the toggle and the bead. You don't want to have too much extra knot. 3 or 4 is enough. And there we go. This necklace isn't going to be that long, so I'm just going to start. I've got some smaller black seed beads that are going to go in the ends, and I've got some really tiny gray seed beads in here, and there's going to be 5 gray seed beads between each pattern. So 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, 5 over here, 5 through all of these. It's not going to be that long a necklace, but it'll look pretty good. So I've got to start on it. So I've got 3 larger beads, then we've got a set of 5, the gray with the black seed, and we're starting for 2 more larger seed beads. Wait, 3 more. And then we're going to have 3 more larger seed beads, and more of these grays, and we're going to work up to the little gray beads here, which are going to work in turn up to the rocks. You can see I started with of the gray beads, the ones that have not quite as much coloring, and then they'll go all the way up to the middle of the necklace with ones that are almost completely white. Can you see that? I'm not sure. I had thought that instead of having the stones bracketed by the gray beads, I would have them bracketed by smaller beads. But I think this looks better. And, well, it would be longer by about 2 inches. I don't think that's going to matter. Right now, it's coming up here. So, it'll come down about here when it's finished, and be a very subtle piece. So I don't think it actually needs the extra inch or so that it would get. Adding this piece is the halfway marker. And I wasn't sure if it would be okay because this piece is so much darker than some of the other ones I have. But I think in the middle, in moderation, it'll look okay. I really wish I knew what kind of rock this was. It's pretty. Once you have the beading finished, you're going to string the toggle the same way. String the other end. Pull it through. Pull it tight. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you don't get it caught on the ending beads. And then a good solid knot. A couple good solid knots. There you have it. This one sits right about where I expected, right? Not the best shirt to do this with. Right about here. It's subtle, and it's simple, and it'll go with a lot of things.